Meet Tom Smoller, a McDonald's owner-operator and president of Smoller Group. What Smoller Group does is manage all of 9 of Tom's McDonald's. They manage everything from paying the employees to monitoring month-to-year profits. The office is located in Trenton, New Jersey, in center of all of the stores. At age 13, Tom went around his neighborhood asking if any of his neighbors needed their lawns cut. Tom, already having the equipment to cut the lawn, gathered some of his close friends and would have his friends cut the grass. Tom was in charge of collecting the money from the neighbors and distributing it amongst his friends. In a later business venture, Tom was able to convince a friend to go halves on a car waxing tool. He saw people going out of their way to get their car waxed and detailed. He thought he would have the competitive advantage by making it more convenient for the customer by going to them and waxing and detailing their car. I was very impressed with how early my dad had started thinking like an entrepreneur and gathering people to work for him. When Tom graduated high school, his father put him to work right away. His father, believing in starting from the very bottom and working your way up, had Tom clean the bathrooms and work his way up to become owner-operator. One of the questions I always circle back to is what is going to motivate me as an entrepreneur? So I asked my dad what it is that motivates him. He simply stated, being the best owner-operator out there. When asking what the single most important reason for his success is, he responded by telling me the importance of paying attention to the business and to never lose focus on the customer. I followed this statement up by asking him his most satisfying moment in business. He said it was satisfying expanding off of his dad's original 5 stores. He also finds great satisfaction in closing down competitors' stores, having done that a few times. When asked what his least favorite part about being an entrepreneur is, Tom stated, dealing with the public is always a challenge, and that there will always be pressure on you as a boss. It's also tough with bad publicity. His greatest fear as an entrepreneur is the obvious, that the consumers will no longer want McDonald's products, or that his stores will be irrelevant in the consumer's eyes. The only thing Tom enjoys more than being an entrepreneur is spending time with his children and golfing. I wrapped up the interview by asking him 3 reflection questions, starting with, how do you think being an entrepreneur has turned you into a better person? He replied by saying, giving everyone the opportunity to work, also to financially give back to the community that the restaurants serve. I then asked him, how would you like people to remember you and your company? Tom said he wants his company to be remembered as a good neighbor in the community that always gave back, being the best on the block, being consistent, and always did the right things. Tom wants to be remembered as a fair man who was able to take care of people who worked beside him and provide opportunity for people who were committed to working. I closed the interview by asking the final question. Looking back, what's one thing you would have done differently? He replied, go to college and get the best education I possibly could. My dad emphasized certain aspects of the business that I should prepare for. He stated that as the boss, there is always going to be pressure on you. Not everyone is going to like you because you're going to have to make certain decisions that may be best for the company but not for the employees. As an owner-operator, one of my main jobs is going to be managing debt. He told me that McDonald's is not the easiest company to work for, considering the menu is always growing and have certain procedures and expectations that are hard to comply with due to the constant change. The most important lesson he has embedded into my head is making the customers happy. He quoted, customers are the real boss. They have the ability to fire anyone they want in the company, all by spending their money somewhere else. The life lessons I've learned from interviewing my dad is to always remain humble. It's not how important you become, but to try to make a difference in the lives of others. Be willing to put yourself in uncomfortable situations. It may hurt sometimes, but that's how life unfolds. He taught me to hold on and be persistent. Nothing is ever easy, and it's going to take time and hard work to be a success. Last life lesson my father has taught me was to be happy with what you do. Make sure you're happy with what you're doing, because if you're not, you won't be much of a success and won't be living a fulfilling life. I will take these lessons that he has taught me and use them to not only better the company, but to better myself as a person and entrepreneur. Thanks for listening.